Well, today I'm a little burned out, I think, with the tea. I think I want to switch it up and we're going to do something a little different. I was at a garage sale and somebody actually had a whole bunch of signs. Picked up a few of them. And seeing how expensive aluminum is, I decided to go buy those so I can make a set of bomber seats out of some junk. So I'm not going to make the same ones that I had in my car or in my 37 here. Oh. But we're going to build some seats for that thing. I think that'll be the plan. That's today's plan anyways. I don't feel like working on that stuff anyways. So I want to build a simple bomber seat. We'll have a cushioned bottom. And it won't be like this style. I'll probably put speed holes and stuff in it. But I think I'm going to do just a simple base with a wraparound style kind of bomber seat. At least that's my plan. We'll see what we can get out of a couple road signs. Anyways, I'm gonna go dig up the other signs and we'll bring them in and mock them onto the table. I'm gonna run my water hose over there and fill the bottom of the table up with some water, and we'll start designing. See what we get here. Well, we got the table filled up. I just use regular water. I know it kind of rusts, but wherever my table leaks, if it's rusty, it usually won't leak through there. So don't drip on the ground. Win. Anyhow, I'm going to clean this off. I got a couple road signs, like I said. One of them, I guess I had already cut into it. I know aluminum is pretty messy on the plasma to cut, but anywho, I'm going to come up with a design, a simple design. These road signs are like near impossible to break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to do some relief cuts just so I can make it easier to bend. I'm going to sort of loosey base it on this one. We'll do the bigger seat bottom. So it'll probably be one size. I'm thinking 15 inches is more than wide enough. Because I had mine based. If you did my seats, they're based on the fact that I had some edges in it. You see how my seat bottoms here have some padded edges? Because I used the Camaro bottoms. So I'm not really doing that in here. So this thing's like 16 inches wide. So I think if I go 15, even 14 is pretty wide for a bottom. So, yeah, it's either 14 or 15. I guess I'll base it on how much I can get out of this. We can comfortably get 14 out of this, so that's going to be our bottom. I think I'm going to cut this as a bottom. I'm going to bend the lip up a little bit so your cushion can't slide forward. And then the back, so I'm going to make this with like a half horseshoe. And I think I'll cut the back out of this, but it's going to fold in on it, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to make it as high as this. I'll probably make it a little lower. But it's going to be all open, like all dimple dyed and exposed like this one. So there won't be any padding in it other than a bottom. I'll make a cushioned bottom for it. So let's figure out what I want, what's comfortable. We're going to doodle it up quick. And then we can throw this sheet in and we'll just quickly cut it. At least that's a plan. Should be kind of messy because it's got that glue on the other side. But we'll leave the shiny side in and road sign out. Well, we go with this seat for a loose look. I figure we'll want to tilt it back a little bit. Looks like we're pretty much making it about the same size as my other one. So right up to this backrest we're going to do it. So we'll kind of steal some measurements from this one. The only difference I want to do is this edge. I think I want to break it in two pieces. I want to go here and then have another one here so it has more of a rounded transitional curve, if that makes sense. And then these will just be like straight again. So this one tapers out. I'm just going to make this a straight 14 inch. square on the bottom, and then this thing should, I want the back to kind of wrap around it, kind of like a bucket. Some people do that with barrels or something, like make a seat that way. Try to loosey-goosey kind of make it like that. All right, well, we can get some measurements off of this, and then we'll see if there's enough of it to fit onto a sheet. From there, oh yeah. I think we'll be close. Ooh, super close. Mind you, I don't know if it's going to be as deep. I don't know. Let's measure this up. Or I'm going to measure this up, and then I'm going to start drawing it out, and we'll see if it'll work. Alright, well that worked out okay. I don't know if I've cut much road sign on the plasma table, but it worked out okay. It bent all right. I think I got to slow down my speed because it kind of like was closing itself up, so I was having a hard time separating it. Anywho, instead of doing a rounded back, I decided to square it because I'm pretty darn sure that I'm not going to be able to like bend a round curve. My original design was just going to be this as a full round curve. I know there's no way I'm going to bend that sign around like that. So we're going to do it squared. That'll be manageable because then I can at least cut some slits in it like I did down here, and then we can kind of stab it in the brake to make it a little easier to bend these corners, and then we can what do you want to call it? I can weld them up. Well, it'll get welded in there anyways. Anywho, we got a big old sheet. We are going to do a quick measurement how big this is. We're going to go up our 2.5 inches and then slowly probably just make some kind of transition up into the back. We'll go about a 2 foot in the back, which is about what my other seats are. So it gets you right around in that vicinity. I think it'll be fine. I guess if it screws up, I can always find more road signs somewhere. All right, anyways, I'm going to quickly doodle this up, and then we're going to go slice her up on the table here. All right, well, here we go. I had some struggles trying to get all these dimple dies to work through the through my press. I had to take over to this other, my iron worker, and do a few. So we'll have to revamp that when I do the next seat. It was a little, like I did the bends, they're a little narrow, but I did get it. It feels okay now. I stretched out the top, and I'm going to do some more once I weld the bottom in. So you kind of have a feeling. It's going to sit here. I'm going to center this up. I'm going to start welding here, try to get this all where I wanted it, and we'll tack it in, and then I guess I'm going to sit in it and see how it feels. Alrighty, we got our seat pretty much done. What have we learned? We learned a lot of things here. We learned I had it too flat. We needed some angle. So I ended up cutting it loose again. Oops. And then I cut about 1 3/4 inches or so off the bottom. So that gives us some back adjustment. So that's fine. We got that there. Then we got the angled up in the front, which is nice. I just should have added a little bit of material, some meat for that. So we're going to change that with the next one. Dimple dies sucked. That was a little hard to get all done. But whatever. That's minor. We stretched it out. Feels comfortable. Once there's a cushion in there, it's nice. I wouldn't mind to bend these out a wee bit more up in the top, but I don't know. You know what? For something that's made out of junk, that's pretty good. It's actually really comfortable. I know everybody's going to ask about this. So what I bought was a spool gun because with aluminum, I struggle like nobody's business when it comes to the TIG welder. Which, if it's clean, good aluminum, I don't have any problem. But I can never clean this stuff good enough to do that. So I still use a stainless brush. And then, unfortunately, it's only my little 140 MIG welder that actually has the switch for the spool gun. So you pop off your handle and your normal MIG nozzle, and then I just found one on eBay because the Lincoln one is super expensive. It's as much as my welder is just about. I found one of these for 120 bucks on eBay, I think. And all it is, you just look up for a spool gun. It's a universal one. I guess if you look up that, you'll probably see it. Again, it was like 120 Canadian, and it screwed straight into my welder. So you kind of push it in, screw it into the front. On my welder, there is a trigger switch in there, so that tells it to not use this spool, and it'll spool the end of there. With my little 140, I am either running C or D. And as messed up as it is, there's no wire speed on there. You just push the trigger and it goes. So on here, I'm usually running 10 to a fictional 11 or 12 is where I run my wire speed. And it works fine for C and D at that. The only problem with this is if you're trying to weld aluminum and you want to buy this, you can't use regular MIG gas. You need argon. And I just steal my line. So I unscrew my line from my wherever it is here. Anyways, I unscrew my tank and then I steal from my TIG welder. I just connect up that way. So anyways, long story short, I learned. I changed my drawing now, so I kind of have this plane. I went 1 3/4 inches smaller and then I narrowed it out. Everything else is the same. These bent okay. It was hard to bend, but that's road sign for you. They're just hard to bend. But when you're in it, it's comfy. Hindsight, I should have maybe made the bottom where I had a little standoff, but we'll just put what feels good in the car is a 2x2, so I'm just going to bolt 2x2 to the floor. I'll bolt this to that. The back can just bolt to the floor. And it's sit like that, and it's super comfy and nice. And that's with a small little cushion in there. Gives you nice leg support. I like it. So anyways, I'm going to go in for supper, but we're going to come back and I'm going to cut the second seat. The only thing I want to do on my drawing is add this little bit. And I think we'll be good. So from road sign to bomber seat, when people want the drawing, I have it, but I can give you a rough guesstimate on the measurements. I kind of just made it up as I went, and I don't know, seems to be okay. This is kind of brutal. I guess whatever. If you want to call it a rat rod seat or something, there you go. Made out of a street sign. At least you can polish up the inside, it'll look nice. Anyway, gonna go in for supper, and we're gonna make one more seat, and then we'll see what they're like inside the car. Well, truth be told, I never made it back in yesterday. So we still have to do this whole seat over again. I think I'm going to do that super quick. We're going to mash through that. Thinking about it, don't mind my welds, because I didn't realize when Rolly was running the tire machine, it was on the same circuit as my welder, so it didn't like it when I was welding. Kind of get a little bit of a power loop. Anywho, and as ugly as it is, it's still nicer than my TIG welds. Anywho, we are going to carve up the other seat quick. I think I'm going to actually make said angle bracket that I think I want. I'll make it in a way, yes. Just talking out loud. I think I can make it. It'll look kind of nice. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to make up a simple bracket. It'll have one mount. We'll be able to get 2 hole bolts in there. And then the back is just going to bolt in through the actual frame, because there's going to be a cushion in there when said and done. But let's cue the montage of me building this next seat in like warp speed. Well, there we go. Do not mind my welds down there because I did not clean it very well, so I will show it to you from this angle. But we got a base on there. I've drilled some holes in there. I made these slots so we got some access to the bolts in the front. Here they'll just bolt down through the seat, kind of just sandwich things down. They're really rough, but I think they'll do the job. They are what they are, eh? Made out of junk. I think I bought 4 signs for like 40 bucks or something, so there we go. I used 2.5 ones because I had a scrap sign yet. So, win. Anywho, let's pop them in the car and see what they look like. See how they feel to sit on. All right, well, let's get one of these in the car. Well, that's very nice. Driver's side next. This is to mimic my cushion. Very nice. Oh. Ooh. It's pretty far away. Oh. That's nice. That's cozy like. I like it. It's a little straight up. Could have used more angle, I guess, but I'm okay with that because that's kind of how I drive, but somebody may want this a little bit taller. Either way, we got some seats. That's cool. Oh, it is hot. I think that's where I'm going to call this one, folks. We got us a pair of bomber seats, and I don't know. I think they're pretty good. I think it needs a little more clink, but I may have messed up on that part, and I should have done 4. I thought I did 4. No, 4 was too much. I don't know. I'll grab something small here. Oh, there's perfect. Whatever. We can fix that. That's not a big deal. Because that's our brake pedal there. Oh, yeah. She's good to go. Alrighty, folks. That puts us in a good position there. We got our seats are there. We just got to make some cushions for everything. That'll be good stuff. They're comfortable as far as I'm concerned for the simplicity of it. They're simpler than my other seats, I guess. They're simpler, but they're not. But it does have like the original kind of a bomber steel seat kind of bottom. I don't know. I don't know if it does or it doesn't. I've never actually seen a real bomber seat, so I don't know. All I know is they're comfy. We got ourselves some room in the back. I guess technically we could hinge the front. And then if you wanted to put stuff behind the seat, you could just like lift it like that. But they'd probably rattle and other things would happen. So anywho, that's done. That is done. I think because it's hot, I am done. I think the next round though is definitely we are going to get this sucker running. That is the plan. We have to still bleed the brakes. But once that's done, we run fuel. I forgot. I have to get hose clamps for everything. And put that gas pedal in. But for this round, we did bomber seats, so yeah. Pretty happy with that. Anyways, I'm hot. I'm going in, so I think I am calling it here. I want to thank you folks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.